Can $1 million actually buy you a house you want to move into in the city of Toronto? For almost 5 years, the average sale price of a home in Toronto has been well over $1 million. But in this video, we're going to try to maybe change your perspective on that. And what we've done is we've taken a look at quite a few sales recently that have sold under $1 million for freehold properties. And they all had 3 bedrooms, at least minimum 3 bedrooms, minimum 2 bathrooms. They were freehold properties in the city of Toronto, and they had a parking spot. And I just want to show you, as the market has adjusted here and prices have come down, how much opportunity exists today versus maybe what you thought didn't exist previously. My name is Tom Storey. Thank you so much for being back on the channel today. And this one is going to be fun. Make sure to like this video, get subscribed to the channel. If you want to work with our team, you can book a call in the first link in the description. I'm bringing back my team partner, Amrit, for this video. And we've basically just picked our favorite recent freehold properties that have sold under $1 million. Amrit, welcome back. This one's exciting. People have been asking about a house one. And under $1 million seems to be that magical number that everyone's always focused on. So before we actually go to the properties that we chose, what did you find as you were looking for them? Was there more than you expected? Was there not that many? What did you find?
Initially in my mind, I thought there will not be many options. When I started looking, okay, a few options came here and there, but not many options still, I would say. But there are a few options, yes, you can take, as a buyer in today's time, you can take advantage of.
Definitely. Yeah. So let's just get right into it. I wanted to show the viewers something interesting as well. So I wanted to start by giving you an actual breakdown here of, based on the criteria that we used for this video, which was freehold property, City of Toronto, at least 3 bed, at least 2 bathroom, and a parking spot. I also was just curious, like, how many homes fell into that criteria that have sold so far in 2025? So I went back to January 1st, and there's actually been over 1,700 in the top left corner there where my mouse is, over 1,700 homes that have sold freehold under $1 million that had 3 bed, 2 bath, and a parking spot. I was like, whoa, that seems like at least way higher than it used to be. And I wanted, before we chose our picks that have sold more recently, just to show people, like, if this is a criteria that you're looking for and you're trying to upsize from a condo right now, but you don't have $1.5 million or 1.2 and the budget's going to be $1 million or under, take a look at where these homes exist, right? So you can kind of see here, and this is kind of what I expected, right? You're not going to get a ton in central Toronto at all, really. If you kind of zoom in here, you know, the Rockcliffe area, W04, you got tons of options there. And then if you pull over, Scarborough's absolutely an area where, like, these property types exist. There is a ton to choose from.
Yeah, absolutely. So these are the 2 areas in the city where we see prices under some million, the prices of the houses under the some million. But the conversation which I have with my client when I show this chart or this stat to my client, at this point they say, okay, fine, how big of a difference of the house is going to be in these areas as compared to suburbs. When I say suburbs, maybe like say Oakville, Burlington, or in the East End and Durham region. So I would say half of the clients are buyers, they end up moving outside of Toronto because of the bigger space, and some or half of them that want to stay closer to the city, maybe the lifestyle or closer to, or a shorter commute to the workplace, they end up buying in these areas which you just mentioned. So I just wanted to share that right now.
Yeah, it's a really good point because, yeah, listen, if we go over here to Durham region, the price points are similar, but the house is bigger. Like, you get more house for the same price, right?
And land transfer tax is the advantage.
Well, that's true. And only land transfer tax is cut in half, which is definitely nice once you pass those borders of Toronto. But let's get into our picks for today's video. So we have 8 properties we're going to go over with you today. And we're going to start from lowest price to highest price. So I'm going to start with my first choice here. And this is a house on Symington. So it's 164 Symington Avenue. A few key factors I want to focus on. So we've got 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom. Lot size is 17 by 125. It's an attached row townhouse, but as you can see from the first photo here, it's the end unit. So it's essentially, I know there's more, it's a semi, right? Like it's an end unit attached row townhouse. So I think that's important to know as well. It has a parking spot and the basement is actually fully finished. This sold for $870,000. Let's take a quick look at the photos here. And there is work that needs to be done here. Like I'll give you a heads up on that. As you can see when you walk in, it's not, you know, it's livable.
But it needs
obviously
some
it's
love.
dated.
It's like-
Of
yeah,
course.
Yeah.
Of course, right? So like you're going to want to rip out the carpets, put in new tile. Like there's obviously money to be spent here, but you could live in it the way that it currently is.
Yeah.
I actually believe the photos here, like they've virtually shown you what it could be.
Yeah.
Right? The interesting way
The
of doing
potential.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even with the kitchen here, obviously like the older kitchen, and they're showing like, hey, if you redid it, here's what it could look like.
Yeah.
Obviously, the renos in would push this over $1 million. There's no doubt about that. But it is an interesting property, and that's why it's the first one on my list for $870,000.
Solid location, by the way. It's a great location. It's close to the I think it has the second best transit hub in this area, where you have a GO station, UP or Up Express, however you want to call it, and a TTC. So all these three are like there's a mini Union Station going on over there, so which is pretty good. So like from this GO station or Up Express or this Junction Triangle, you can get to Union in about like 15 minutes commute. That's it, or less than that if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
That's why I chose it more than anything, is because where it was located.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a pretty good buy for where it's located. Let's go to our second choice, and this is yours. Actually, funny enough, both me and you both chose this one when we sent them to each other without talking to each other beforehand. So tell me why Milverton made your list.
First, because it's a semi-detached, which is just nice. And if you see the price point, sold for $875,000. A 3-bed, 2-bath, has a finished basement, which is good, and also has a parking spot. Also, the location, if you see, it's located in the East End in Danforth, close to a Coxwell subway station. So it's about like 10 minutes walk from this house. And if you see the house, not bad. It needs some love, no doubt about it. But it is dated, but I think it's still livable at this point.
Absolutely
but down the
livable.
line, you will have to you'll have to put in some work to make it more nicer, and layout, as well as if you see the layout is decent. Like the stairs are not next to if you go back to that picture, please. Sometimes you see in a house where these stairs go all the way there on the left side, where there's no space to set up a TV and a couch on the opposite side. So it's still okay. And kitchen is okay.
Yep.
Those are not bad.
Yeah, I mean, of course it's dated, but I think area is probably the most important factor with this house as well, which you'll find is an obvious trend in today's video, where livable, but you'll want to do some work, but maybe over a period of time, you can move into it and then slowly do things, right?
Yeah. And in this neighborhood, you have decent school districts, which is good. And also school districts also play a huge role in I've noticed in the pricing of the houses or the prices of the street as well. The better the school, the higher the price point it is going to be. Even the one you chose at Symington, that has a great school district too. So these both are, I would say, I would give a thumbs up in terms of school districts.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's a good pick. I really like that pick. I think it makes sense. 3-bed, 2-bath. Obviously needs some work to be done. I'm going to jump to this one here, and then we're going to go back to Dean's Road after Umrit. So Faulkland Road is the next one that I chose, and you'd look at this house from the outside and just basically go like, oh, it's just like an old brick house, right? But just to go back to why I chose it. So it sold for $939. It's 3-bed, 3 bathrooms. The lot is a 40 by 200 lot. It is irregular at the back. It's like an irregular lot, but still, you look at, the semis that are selling on 15-foot wide lots. So this is a detached house. It's a 2-story. You've got parking. The basement is a separate entrance. So I'll show you the photos. And again, keep in mind, like, I'm not choosing this because I think it's like the most beautifully aesthetically pleasing home. I'm focused on the things that you can't change. You can't change where it is located. You can't change the lot size. Everything else on the inside here, again, kind of on trend with what we've been talking about so far. Like, you could live here the way it is. You might want to do renos eventually, though.
Absolutely. Yeah, it needs a lot of renos.
Look at his back room.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's massive. Yeah.
Like, you could turn this, it's just, you put some money into this. This could be just a really, really nice property.
Yeah, I agree.
And this one is in Scarborough. So more like Birchmount area. Just right over here, actually. 939. It's just zooming in right there. You can see exactly where the location is of that property. Let's jump to your next one at 40 Dean's Drive. So why did you pick this one?
Because of the condition of the house. It's a row townhouse. It's a townhouse, but it's if you see the pictures, it's cornered townhouse, more of a semi, but size is not the biggest, but it's again ready to move in. It's more or less new. and as opposed to the ones we just, the ones we just saw. So it's nice kitchen. You see the condition of the house, pretty good. Yeah, it has a parking spot too, and location. It's close. The closest subway station is going to be Warden Station, TTC Warden Station.
Yep.
Which is not too bad for a commute, and it's sold for $926,000. Sorry, if you go back to the listing real quick.
It's actually just right beside the last one we talked about, not too far over there. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And Birchmount, it's a good neighborhood. Again, I wouldn't say the top school districts, but it's fairly okay school district. No, it also depends. School districts are very subjective. As just to full disclosure, not full disclosure, as to mention, your dad is a principal. I spoke to him once, and he's also said that
he was a principal.
Yeah, he was a principal. Sorry, yeah. So, and that's the best source to go to ask for how the school districts are going, how the school districts are in the city. And he said that they're subjective, depends from person to person.
Yep.
But you can go on these Fraser Institute websites, but the best is to go to the school and ask and talk to the parents or maybe teachers. Yeah. So coming back to the location, I would say second is like GO Station, also not too far. It's a Scarborough GO Station, if I'm not wrong. And otherwise, good location. You've got parks there, and you can also, like, the water is not too far. You can also, like, it's a drive to water is like 5 minutes, which is nice. And Scarborough Bluffs are also not too far off. And overall, this little pocket in Scarborough, I think it's pretty safe too, in my opinion. So which is nice.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. I think that one makes a lot of sense. I'm going to jump to one here on Jane Street, actually. So this one I chose because of the location. So it's Bloor Street West and Jane Street. And it sold for...
Solid location.
Yeah, $958. It was a 3-bed, 2-bathroom. It had 2 parking spots in the drive. It's a mutual to the back, but you still have access to the parking spots. Let's take a look at the photos, and I'll show you why I chose this one. So it's a semi. Old house charm with the rads. And they did a nice job with
character. It has a character, I would say.
Exactly. So not the biggest house, but there's not much in this general area that sells sub $1 million.
Yeah.
Especially having parking and having over 3 bedrooms. You can find a lot that sells under $1 million that has 2 bedrooms, but it seems to be 3 bedrooms is what most people want when they're buying these homes. You can tell there's obviously there's work that needs to be done. There's a reason why it's on this list and why it's sold under that price point. But what do you think about this one?
I'm pissed. Why didn't I pick this up?
Yeah. I'm proud of myself for this one.
Pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. I agree. Yeah, especially the location and overall condition of the house, and for the price point.
That's a good one. I feel like that's a really, really good one. Okay, let's come back to your next pick. So why'd you pick this one?
36 Alameda Avenue, if I'm saying it right. Again, the location is in the west end. Northwest is in Oakwood Village. And if you keep going north from there, then we'll start seeing more sub 1 million houses. And this is also one of those. If you see the house, it's a cute little house. Again, it's not the best looking house from inside. It needs some renos for sure, but still livable. You see the living area is not bad. Dining area, kitchen, okay. You can make it work for the price point and the size of the house. And overall location is good. That's one of the main reasons I picked this up. The Clinton West Stage TTC is next door, not next door, but like 10 minutes walk, approximately 10 minutes walk from this house. And lots going on in that area too. It's close to, I think, Western GO Station. And they're setting up one more GO Station. I forgot the name of that. So which is good. So down the line, I think this little area in Oakwood Village or Rockcliffe, Smythe, these areas are going to do well over the long term. Yes.
However, this doesn't have parking and you've cheated. So why is this on the list?
This one has a street parking. If you see the remarks, you can get tons of street parking, so which is good. Street
parking is actually fairly cheap if that is an option that you're okay with. Yeah, so $950, I agree. Semi, 2-story, 17.5 wide, almost 100 deep. Yeah, I like that pick for sure. Okay, we got 2 left here. So this one here, I think, is my favorite pick. So the reason why I chose this one is because it's located in South Riverdale. So this is like prime neighborhood. It's 3-bed, 2-bath. It's only 15 wide, so it's not a super wide house. 100 deep. You have a parking spot, and the reason, in my opinion, this sold under $1 million is because the basement was unfinished.
Yeah.
But location-wise is just a really strong location. So we'll go through the photos here.
Yeah.
And you can tell, 15 feet wide, there's it's going to be tighter on the inside. especially because the 15 feet isn't the full house, by the way. That's
Yeah.
the lot. And with a semi, you're sharing one wall, but then there's like usually a 2 to 2.5 foot setback on the other side. So,
Yeah.
if I took out a measuring tape and measured, width of this house, are probably more like 12 and a half.
Yeah.
A
11 to
lot of
12,
homes,
yeah.
a lot of homes that are under 15 are usually they put the stairs like in the middle to separate the front and back room. But this does have the stairs on the side, just, not huge stairs there.
Yeah.
But I chose this house because I think it's totally livable the way it is. Of course, you'd want to do some upgrades, but the location of where it is why it's made my list today. Very rarely do homes sell under $1 million in that location that have, 3 real bedrooms that are move-in ready. And you got the parking spot at the back.
Yeah.
So I was pretty proud of myself for finding this one under $1 million, $977. Yep.
Yeah, and the schools in South Riverdale are pretty good. Like a lot of clients who reach out to me, they
Like,
do
look where it's
mention about the
located.
schools, yeah.
Like you're
perfect.
right there in Leslieville. Like it's that EO1 pocket. It's hard to find anything under $1 million that you can move into right away.
Yeah.
As you can see, this is the only one that we could find. And now I
Yeah.
have one last house that me and Amrit have already disagreed on, and I want to tell you guys why. So this is in East York, okay? So it's 344 Linsmore Crescent. You can see it was listed over $1 million, but sold for $985, and it was on the market for 77 days. And I can tell you why I believe that is. But here's what I want to focus on. We had talked about before, like you should be buying on the things that you can't change, and then focusing on the things that you can change after you take ownership. So it's a 41 by 100 lot.
Yeah.
We just talked about semis on a 15-foot wide lot selling for over almost $1 million. It's a 41 lot. It's a detached. It's 1.5 story. So it kind of looks like a bungalow, but it's a 1.5 story. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. You've got parking, and there's an attached garage. Now, you'll have to do work. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
But I just want to show you, look, there's, where are you going to find that under $1 million in East York? This isn't even Scarborough. This is East York. Now, we're going to go to the photos of the inside of the house, and you're going to say, well, that's not as aesthetically pleasing as a perfectly staged property. But this doesn't matter. The floor plan matters. The location matters. The potential of the house is what matters. And I find, and this is maybe just good advice, and we've been telling this to buyers all the time, don't skip out on seeing houses just because you don't like the furniture in them. Like, the furniture doesn't come with the house. Let's focus on the things that are actually important to the home buying process. Any thoughts on my final pick here?
I agree. And the things which can be taken care of are the furnishings, the renos basically, but the floor plan and the location cannot be ever changed. So I totally agree with that. Yes.
Now, keep in mind that Amrit and myself, we picked these because we didn't represent any of these ones. So we're not involved in any of these transactions. You can already see the sale price. And, we haven't read all the inspections for these homes, or, we weren't involved in these transactions. That was on purpose. We didn't want to choose our own clients for this. But it just shows you that we've picked 8 that I think are pretty decent options. And then you take a look at and these are just like in the last 30, 60 days. And you look at what's sold so far, though, this year in 2025 that meets this criteria. If you're okay with not being central of the city and you're willing to go east or west, you do have options to stay in the city of Toronto under $1 million. And even though today a lot of them were stuff you'd have to reno, there is still options that is more move-in ready and upgraded, like one of the ones that were put on the list today. So, Amrit, any final thoughts on today's video?
Yeah, so there are not many houses in Toronto where we see the main floor or the living area has a powder room. So if you want those, then the price point goes up, or you'll have to install one basically as part of the reno job, or you'll have to go outside of the Toronto. But I would highly recommend, if you can find a house with a powder room on the main floor, those properties down the line or whenever you want to resell it, they do really well. That's what I've noticed in the market.
I mean, I installed a bathroom on my main floor under my stairs that I didn't have before. That was the first thing we did when we bought our property.
Yeah.
And it's good for resale, and it's just super convenient to have a bathroom on every floor of your house.
And it makes sense, I think, to have a bathroom on the main floor, I think, especially if you're hosting.
Totally agree. And yeah, you normally only see that in newer built homes or homes that were renovated, right? Like the typical the typical Toronto house was built like 100 years ago, right? Like these
Yeah.
homes are old, right?
Old.
So unless they're updated or renovated, you're going to find those older floor plans as well. Thank you everybody for watching. Let us know in the comments below, what do you want us to do next on this series, this ongoing series that we are doing. I hope you found this valuable. If you have any questions, please let us know, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.